Okay, so these are all the gates. They stretch down there, or logic blocks. These are a separate part. There's like 5 parts to it. It's actually kind of a fairly simple mod to install. I'll do a mod installation video too. But this here is just a timer block which turns it on and off, gives it just basically a pulse. This is set every 5.5 seconds, so I'll set 2.5. And as you can see, it just spins around. It doesn't always like to turn on the lamp though. It's just lag. So that's the timer. It can be shut off by applying a current to any 3 sides besides the side with the little torch thing, because that's the side that gives it the power. So shut that off. This is a sequencer, which is the same thing, except it just powers one side at a time. So there's no shutting it off. So as each goes over each side, you know, simple. Really, just it turns it on. This here is an RS NOR latch, which ingests like a block compacted size. As you hit each button, it powers that side. So like, it's like a memory cell. It keeps hold of the pulse. So as I hold this, it changes it to the power. It provides power also to whatever side the button is, what has the light is on, and the button is not pressed. So, and then vice versa. And if you look here, you can kind of see how it all works. And it's basically, actually, looking at the designs on here, it will actually give you a pretty good idea of how they actually work. If you follow the track, it's pretty cool actually, I think. This is a NOR gate. This gets into the weird stuff. I think it's when both are on or both are off. Yeah, when both are off, then that turns on. And if either one's on, then it shuts it off. It can be clicked to change where the input is. As you can see, there's like all different combinations. The OR gate is the same exact thing as that, except opposite. Both have to be on for it to turn off, for it to be on. So it doesn't matter what one. They just, you know, if I hit both of them off, voila, it turns off. An NAND gate, which basically, this is very repetitive. An NAND gate, whatever. But a NAND gate, they both, I think they have to be in, just one has to be on. Oh great, now just double clicking again. But they just both, one of them has to be off. Actually, yeah, not one of them has to be on, but one of them has to be off. This is very simply an AND gate. You know, big deal. You know, there's ones. It's a same. A lot of these you can be built in vanilla, but it's like compacted size. So, you know, simple properties of an AND gate. You know, they both have to be in the same position, I think, or something, or they both have to be on. They both have to be on for that to be on. I have one in my peaceful world. If you want to go check out that video, it's the first one that I updated or uploaded. That has a switch AND gate for my one door. It makes it so you can close an iron door from both sides. Next, NOR gate. Oh man, I don't know where they get the names from, but I think they both have to be in the same position. Yeah, they both have to be in the same position. Doesn't matter whether both on or off for it to turn it on, the output. And it doesn't have to be just the lamps. I'm just using lamps because it's most obvious. It can be doors, pistons, whatever. Pistons get a bit noisy though. X or they have to be in opposite positions, I think. Yep, opposite to be for the output to be on. No, why? Oh my gosh, I always click off the rain. This is actually a pulse former, which this isn't really a logic gate, but it's basically it turns a it's hard to tell because of the lag, but it basically just gives for every click of that you can't see it happening, but every time you change it from off to on, it flicks it to pulse. It just gives a pulse. It doesn't keep it on, so it just basically pulses it. This is the opposite thing of that, I guess you'd say, where for every pulse it gives it turns it on, so it acts like a switch, and you can just click the actual gate itself and it'll act like a normal switch, but it basically takes a pulse and turns it into a solid state, and this one takes a solid state and turns it into a pulse, vice versa. A NOT gate, which this basically you can make this very easily, which it just basically be a piece of redstone or wire in there, and then it just have to be an inverter on there, or it doesn't really matter what position it switches in. So the NOT gate and the buffer gate, they both kind of seem simple. That was stupid to have, because this is just basically the opposite. This is on, and it basically gives it all on. It's the same as if you just have a piece of wire in there. I mean, I don't think I have any, what do you call it, wire on me. Wire? That's samplings for something later. Yes, I do have wire. Buffer gate. So see, voila, it does the same thing. It's amazing. And this is the same thing. It's just the opposite direction. You just mark your signs different for adventure map makers or whatever. And I don't really see the purpose in those at all. A multiplexer. This is complicated. But basically, the center switch defines what side gives it the power or whatever. So as I flick this, it will, like, this is being powered, right? This is giving out power right now, so it's turning on. But if I were to hit this switch, it would get the controls from there, and so then it'll be off. It's the best I can explain it. It's probably one of the more complicated pieces. Yeah. Now the counter, what this is can be used. This can actually, this would actually be a good thing for adventure maps. Like, they give you pieces of like whatever, and then you have to somehow hit the certain number of buttons or drop them on the pressure plates. But like this is increase or decrease actually the count, and this increases it what side. And basically I have it set at 10 count clicks you need it for to turn it on. You can increase it by I don't know how many up to, and you can also change how many clicks each one does. So I could have it set so it only take 2 clicks to change it to 10, or just 10 as it is at. Same with the decrement, or yeah, whatever. I guess I said that right. I don't know, but just basically you have to hit it 10 times for it to change sides. So if I were to hit this 9 more times, and this is only lighting up because of the button right there, it's not because of the thing, but as you can see, each time I'm pressing it, it's going forward. So now that I hit it 10 times, it's turned that on, and vice versa, to shut off. I actually wanted to show you something over here that I quickly forgot about. With the sequencer, since it runs off world time, if you set it to 300 seconds, it actually gives you a little clock. I'm still haven't figured that out yet. But back to the not randomness, just random act. This is just basically a repeater, which it's the same thing as a regular repeater, except it has more ticks. Like a regular repeater has like 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks. This one like goes to then to 10, 25, and 50 ticks, I think, or something like that. It gives it a really long time. Now these down here are cells. So they're not actually gates. But this one is actually my favorite one. It's really cool. It's basically a crossover from basically a crossover. So what I do to this won't affect that, and vice versa over on this side. And you can pretty much see, because of how the wire's running on it and stuff, it's a crossover. So kind of obvious there. This one, I think it's like, yeah, whatever this state is, this one. I'm pointing at my screen again. Man, why do I keep on doing it? I'm pointing at the screen. Oh my gosh, I can't speak right now. Whatever you do to this side, the lower one, it changes opposite. So if this is on, that's off. But if I were to turn this on, then that turns it on, and it doesn't change what happens at the bottom. So see, it's turned on, and now whatever I do, it's not changing that. So I don't know where you'd put this in. I'm sure you geniuses could figure it out. Now this is like a weird one. It's like the same. It's like, it's whatever you do to this side turns on both of them. So like where that one, whatever this side was, that side was the opposite. This is the same side when you hit this switch. But you can turn this on and off independently of that one. Did I confuse you yet? Did I lose you? Please don't anybody have exploded their brains out.